your voice is a powerful tool. But have you ever thought about the strength that lies in silence? Today we're going to talk about something that might seem strange at first. We want to talk about how speaking less can give you everything in life. Now, you might be thinking, how can being quiet help me get ahead? Well, let me tell you a story. There was once a young man who always had something to say. He'd talk and talk, sharing his opinions on everything. He thought this made him look smart and important. But he soon found out that people stopped listening. They'd nod and smile, but their minds were elsewhere. Then one day, he met an old wise man. This old man barely spoke, but when he did, everyone listened. The young man was amazed. He asked the old man, "How do you command such respect with so few words?" The old man smiled and said, "I've learned that the less I speak, the more value my words have." This story teaches us a big lesson. When we speak less, we gain more. But how does this work? Let's break it down. First, when we speak less, we listen more. And when we listen, we learn. Think about it. Every person you meet knows something you don't. They have experiences you haven't had, ideas you haven't thought of. When you're always talking, you miss out on all this knowledge. But when you're quiet, you soak it all in. You become smarter, wiser, more understanding. Second, speaking less makes your words count. It's like in economics. When something is rare, it becomes valuable. The same goes for your words. If you're always talking, people might start to tune you out. But if you only speak when you have something important to say, people will pay attention. They'll know that when you open your mouth, it's worth listening to. Third, being quiet gives you time to think. In today's world, we're always in a rush. We feel pressured to have quick answers, to always be on them. But the best ideas, the most creative solutions, they come when we give our minds space to work. When we're quiet, we can hear our own thoughts. We can connect dots that we didn't see before. We can come up with ideas that change everything. Fourth, speaking less helps you avoid mistakes. How many times have you said something and then wished you could take it back? We've all been there. When we talk too much, we're more likely to say things we don't mean, to make promises we can't keep, to hurt people without meaning to. But when we're careful with our words, we avoid these pitfalls. We build trust. We keep our relationships strong. Fifth, being quiet makes you a better observer. When you're not focused on what you're going to say next, you can really see what's going on around you. You notice things others miss. You pick up on body language on the unsaid things. This makes you better at understanding people, at reading situations. And in life, understanding is power. Now, you might be wondering, but how do I actually do this? How do I speak less? It's not easy, especially if you're used to talking a lot. But here are some tips to help you start. First, practice active listening. When someone is talking to you, focus entirely on what they're saying. Don't think about what you're going to say next. Just listen. Try to understand not just their words, but the feelings behind them. When they're done, take a moment before you respond. This pause will help you gather your thoughts and respond in a more thoughtful way. Second, ask questions. Instead of always sharing your own thoughts, ask others about theirs. You'll be amazed at what you learn. Plus, people love talking about themselves. By asking questions, you make others feel valued and important. This builds stronger relationships. Third, think before you speak. Before you say something, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If it's not all 3, maybe it's better left unsaid. Fourth, embrace silence. Many of us feel uncomfortable with silence. We rush to fill it. But silence can be powerful. It can create space for reflection, for deeper understanding. Next time you're in a conversation and there's a pause, resist the urge to fill it. See what happens. Fifth, use your words wisely. When you do speak, make it count. Choose your words carefully. Be clear and concise. See what you mean? Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds good. But how will speaking less actually help me get everything in life? When you speak less and listen more, you learn more. This knowledge becomes your power. You understand people better, you understand situations better. This helps you make better decisions. Better decisions lead to better outcomes in all areas of your life. When your words become valuable, people start to respect you more. They seek out your opinion. They trust your judgment. This opens doors for you in your career, in your relationships, in your community. Then you give yourself time to think. You come up with better ideas. These ideas can lead to innovations at work, solutions to problems in your personal life, new ways of looking at the world. These are the things that can change your life dramatically. When you avoid mistakes by being careful with your words, you build a reputation for reliability and trustworthiness. This is invaluable in both your personal and professional life. People will want to work with you, be around you, to support you. When you become a better observer, you start to see opportunities that others miss. You understand the unspoken dynamics in a room. You can navigate complex social situations with ease. This skill can take you far in life. But let me be clear. Speaking less doesn't mean never speaking. It doesn't mean being shy or withdrawn. It means being intentional with your words. It means valuing quality over quantity in your communication. Think about the most respected people you know. Chances are they're not the ones who talk the most. They're the ones who speak with purpose, who listen carefully, who think deeply before they share their thoughts. Now, changing the way you communicate isn't easy. It takes practice. It takes patience. There will be times when you slip back into old habits. That's okay. The important thing is to keep trying, to keep improving. Start small. Maybe for the next week, challenge yourself to ask one more question in each conversation than you normally would. Or set a goal to pause for 3 seconds before responding to someone. These small changes can make a big difference over time. As you practice speaking less, you'll start to notice changes. You might find that your relationships improve. People might start coming to you for advice more often. You might feel more in control of your emotions, less likely to say things you regret. At work, you might notice that your ideas are taken more seriously. Your boss might start giving you more responsibility. Your colleagues might seek out your opinion more often. In your personal life, you might find that you're better at resolving conflicts. You might develop deeper, more meaningful friendships. You might even find that you understand yourself better. But remember, this isn't about becoming a completely different person. It's about bringing out the best in who you already are. It's about using your voice in the most effective way possible. Think of your words like a precious resource. The less you use them, the more valuable they become. But unlike money or material possessions, your words have the power to inspire, to heal, to change lives. By using them wisely, you can have a profound impact on the world around you. And here's something amazing. As you start to speak less and listen more, you'll find that the world opens up to you in new ways. You'll start to hear the unspoken messages in conversations. You'll pick up on subtle cues that you might have missed before. It's like developing a superpower. The ability to truly understand people and situations. This understanding is what will help you get everything in life. Because when you truly understand something, you can work with it. You can shape it. You can use it to your advantage. Let's say you're in a meeting at work. Everyone's throwing out ideas, trying to solve a problem. But you're quiet, listening carefully. You're not just hearing the words, but noticing the tone of voice, the body language, the dynamics between people. When you finally speak, you're able to offer a solution that addresses not just the surface problem, but the underlying issues that no one else noticed. That's the power of speaking less. Or maybe you're having a disagreement with a loved one. Instead of jumping in with your defense, you listen, really listen. You hear not just their words, but their fears, their hopes, their needs, and you respond. You're able to address the real issue, not just the surface conflict. That's how speaking less can transform your relationships. Speaking less also gives you time to align your words with your actions. We've all known people who talk a big game but never follow through. Don't be that person. Be the one who speaks little but does much. Let your actions speak louder than your words. This builds trust and respect like nothing else can. Now, you might be worried that speaking less means missing out on opportunities. You might think you need to constantly promote yourself, to always be selling your ideas. But here's the truth. When you speak less, but make your words count, you actually create more opportunities for yourself. Think about it this way. If you're always talking, always pushing your ideas, people might start to see you as pushy or self-centered. But if you listen more than you speak, if you only share your thoughts when they're well-formed and valuable, people will see you as thoughtful and wise. They'll seek out your opinion. They'll want you on their team. This approach can transform your career. Instead of always trying to prove how smart you are, you become known as someone who adds real value. You become the person people turn to when they need a fresh perspective, a creative solution, a voice of reason. In your personal life, speaking less can deepen your connections. When you're not always trying to fill the silence, you create space for real intimacy. You show others that you value them, that you're interested in their thoughts and feelings. This builds stronger, more meaningful relationships. Speaking less also gives you a competitive edge in negotiations. When you're comfortable with silence, you're less likely to talk yourself into a bad deal. You're more likely to notice when the other person is uncomfortable, when they might be willing to offer. This skill can help you in everything from asking for a raise to buying a car. But perhaps the most powerful benefit of speaking less is the inner peace it brings. When you're not constantly reacting, constantly sharing every thought that crosses your mind, you create space for inner reflection. You become more aware of your own thoughts and feelings. You develop a stronger sense of who you are and what you truly want in life. This inner peace, this self-awareness is the foundation for getting everything you want in life. Because when you truly know yourself, when you're at peace with who you are, you make better decisions. You're not swayed by what others think you should do. You're able to pursue your true passions, to live authentically. And there's something amazing. When you're living authentically, when you're pursuing your true passions, opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. It's like the universe conspires to help you. But it's not magic. It's simply that when you're clear about who you are and what you want, you're better able to recognize opportunities when they appear. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I'm an extrovert. I love to talk. Are you saying I need to change who I am? Not at all. This isn't about changing your personality. It's about using your natural strengths in the most effective way possible. If you're naturally talkative, you likely have a gift for connecting with people, for expressing ideas in an engaging way. That's wonderful. The key is to channel that gift. Use your words to ask great questions, to draw others out. Use your natural charm to make others feel heard and valued. Your gift for communication can be even more powerful when it's focused on understanding others rather than just expressing yourself. And for those of you who are naturally quiet, this is your time to shine. The world is starting to recognize the power of introverts, of those who think before they speak. Embrace your natural tendency to observe, to reflect. Your quieter strength can be incredibly powerful. Remember, the goal isn't to never speak. The goal is to make your words count, to speak with intention, with wisdom, with kindness, to use your voice in a way that adds value to every situation, that lifts others up, that moves things forward. As you practice speaking less, you'll likely face some challenges. You might feel like you're missing out on social connections. You might worry that people will think you're low or uninterested. You might struggle with the urge to fill every silence. These feelings are normal. Change is always uncomfortable at first, but push through. The benefits are worth it. And remember, you're not aiming for complete silence. You're aiming for meaningful communication. One powerful technique is to think of your words as seeds. Every time you speak, you're planting a seed in the mind of the listener. What kind of seeds do you want to plant? Seeds of kindness, of wisdom, inspiration. When you think of your words this way, you naturally become more intentional about what you say. Another technique is to practice the art of the thoughtful pause. Before you respond to someone, take a breath. Give yourself a moment to really consider what you want to say. This small pause can make a big difference As you continue on this journey of speaking less and gaining more, you'll start to notice changes, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. You'll develop a quiet confidence, an inner strength that comes from knowing you don't need to prove yourself with words. You'll find that you're less reactive, less easily upset by what others say or do. Because when you're not constantly voicing every thought and emotion, you give yourself time to process, to respond rather than react. You'll discover a new level of influence. People will seek out your opinion, value your input. Not because you're the loudest voice in the room, but because when you do speak, it's worth listening to. But you'll become a better problem solver. Because when you're not busy talking, you're observing, thinking, connecting dots in new ways. You'll see solutions that others miss. You'll become a better leader. The best leaders aren't those who talk the most, but those who listen, who observe, who speak with intention and purpose. By mastering the art of speaking less, you're developing crucial leadership skills. You'll find that your relationships deepen and strengthen. Because real connection doesn't come from talking at someone, but from truly listening, from creating space for others to express themselves. And perhaps most importantly, you'll find a new level of self-understanding. In the quiet moments, in the pauses between words, you'll hear your own inner voice more clearly. You'll gain insights into your own thoughts, feelings, and motivations that you might have missed before. This self-understanding is the key to getting everything you want in life. Because when you truly understand yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, your fears, you can make choices that align with who you really are. You can pursue goals that truly matter to you, not just what others think you should want. As you continue to practice speaking less, remember that it's a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you slip back into old habits, when you talk more than you intended. That's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Every conversation is a new opportunity to practice. And remember, the goal isn't to become silent. The goal is to become intentional with your words, to communicate it in a way that adds value, that builds understanding, that creates positive change in the world around you. So I challenge you, starting today, to speak less and listen more, to pause before you speak, to ask more questions, to embrace silence, to watch as your relationships improve, as your influence grows, as opportunities open up for you. Watch as you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Because here's the truth. When you master the art of speaking less, you're not giving up your voice. You're making your voice more powerful. You're not diminishing yourself. You're expanding your impact. In a world that's constantly noisy, where everyone is clamoring to be heard, your intentional silence, your thoughtful words will stand out. They will be noticed. They will make a difference. Go forth and speak less. Listen more. Observe, reflect, and watch as the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined. Watch as you gain everything you've ever wanted in life, not through endless chatter, but through the power of your intentional, thoughtful, impactful words. You remember, it's not about the quantity of your words, but the quality. It's not about how often you speak, but how much value you add when you do. It's not about being heard, but about being understood. Your journey to speaking less and gaining more starts now. Embrace it. Trust in it. And watch as it transforms your life in amazing ways. The power is within you. The choice is yours. Speak less, gain more, and create the life you've always dreamed of.